If you have a leaking trap, it may be time to fix it. If you are unsure about the cause of the leak, you should follow the steps below. If you cannot locate the source of the leak, you can use a straightened wire coat hanger to test for leaks. If you find any, tighten the nut by hand or use pliers. Afterward, check the trap for leaks by placing a small piece of newspaper underneath it. If you suspect that the leak is caused by a clogged trap, you may want to check its gasket for damage. A leak is usually caused by a worn gasket. The parts that connect the trap to the waste pipe should be tightened with strong pressure. Using pliers will give you the strength you need to make sure the nut is tightened properly. If you can't find the nut, you should try using a bucket underneath the trap to catch the runoff. After ensuring that the nut is tight, you can proceed with the leaking trap repair. To clean the trap, you must remove the clogs. You may need to use a flexible wire brush or pliers to clean it. You should also check the compression washers for damage and make sure they are facing the correct way. If you notice any, replace them. However, if you cannot fix the leaks yourself, contact a professional plumber. If you've inspected the pipes for corrosion and rust, it's likely that your problem is caused by a faulty pipe or a malfunctioning trap. If you have a problem with your drain pipe, it's best to call a plumber as soon as possible. Using the tips above, you can fix your leaky trap and save money in the process. The process is easy and you can save money. In addition to a faulty gasket, you need to inspect the entire plumbing trap to find the source of the leak. This can be caused by the seal itself, the cone seal, or the gasket on the tank. You can check the seal of your leaking trap by placing a paper towel around the gasket and unrolling it. If the leaks are caused by a leak in the seal, it is most likely due to the condition of the gasket and improper tightening. If your trap has a J-trap, it is most likely caused by a broken or poorly fastened joint or a broken washer. If the nut is cross-threaded, the leak will persist, regardless of which washer you put in. To solve the leak, simply replace the P-trap with a new one. You should never use a cross-threaded compression nut as it will not hold the washer tightly. Leaking traps may also be caused by leaks in the slip joints of the P-trap. These slip joints are connected to the trap by threaded PVC slip nuts. They need to be tightened manually to prevent the water from leaking. Over-tightening the slip joint may cause the plastic nut to break and cause the trap to leak. Another common cause of leaks is that the rubber washers in the P-trap are dislocated or broken. If you are not able to repair a P-trap by yourself, you may consider using a chemical welding compound on the joints. The sealant will prevent the trap from leaking but will only hold up a small crack if the pipe is cracked. Oftentimes, the repair of a leaky P-trap is inexpensive and easy. If you aren't confident enough to try this DIY solution, you can buy a cheap pipe sealant and try it yourself. A clogged P-trap may be the cause of the sewer gas smells that you've experienced in the past. You should check the P-trap regularly, especially if you suspect that the smell is caused by a leaking P-trap. If you notice that it's leaking, it is time to call a plumber. You don't want to risk your health and your home's integrity. Before you attempt a DIY leak repair, you should check to make sure that the area is completely dry and clean. In the case of a large leak, you can use a hose clamp. The sleeve clamp will come with a gasket material to seal the leak. To use the hose clamp, you will need to place a rubber piece on the pipe and tighten it around it. This will prevent the leak from leaking.